Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakudash, double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, honors to all the brothers who are fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith, and Shalom to all the sincere believers. Now, this lesson is going to be based on this wrong way crash that resulted in the death of an 81-year-old woman. So through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and Lord's will, you're edified. This is wrong way crash on Route 1 leaves 81-year-old woman dead in Bucks County. It says an 81-year-old woman from Yardley was killed Tuesday afternoon in a wrong way crash involving a tractor trailer on Route 1 in Morrisville, Bucks County, according to Pennsylvania State Police. The crash occurred around 1:15 p.m. in the southbound lanes near the Pennsylvania Avenue interchange. Investigators say the woman was driving northbound in the southbound lanes when her vehicle collided with the tractor trailer. Chopper 6 was over the scene where a car was wedged between the semi and a cement median. The woman was transported to a nearby hospital where she was pronounced dead. The driver of the tractor trailer was taken to Jefferson Bucks Hospital with unknown injuries. Route 1 was closed in both directions for several hours as people investigated the crash. Yeah, just more heavy judgment because like I've been, through the Spirit, like I've been saying, as well as all the other sincere brothers who push this word have been saying, that the judgments of the Lord happen in many ways. And car crashes are one of those ways. And this here proves that the Lord is also no respecter of persons, because this was an 81-year-old woman, an elderly woman. Romans 2:11. For there is no respect of persons with Yahweh. And that's right. So elderly people, men, women, children, it doesn't matter. If the Lord decides that he wants to bring judgment upon somebody, they're going to get judged. Regardless of how old they are, how young they are, what their gender is, what their ethnicity is, what their societal status is. The Lord doesn't care about any of that. If you're being wicked, the Lord is going to judge you accordingly. Psalms 9:16. The Lord Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgaion Selah. Yeah. And these car crashes are the judgments of the Lord. See, the Lord put the spirit on that woman to be driving in the opposite lanes of traffic, where she then crashed with a tractor trailer, which ultimately resulted in her death. That was how the Lord decided to bring judgment upon her. Hebrews 10:31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. And that's right. Because at the end of the day, you don't have free will. You're not out here doing what you want to do. Whatever you do in your day-to-day, the Lord put the Spirit on you to do. Anything you say, anywhere you go, anything you do is controlled by the Heavenly Father. And a lot of people don't understand that. A lot of people really think that they have free will, and whatever they do, it's their choice. And that's not how that works. The scriptures even tell us that a man's goings are of the Lord. How then can a man understand his own way? And this obviously applies to women as well, you know. So all these people running around doing things that they're not supposed to do, the Lord ultimately is making them do those things because in the eyes of the Lord, they're wicked. So wicked people are going to do wicked things. And then the Lord is going to judge them accordingly. Because as, through the Spirit I've said before, everyone has to reap what they've sown. And even though we don't know what this 81-year-old woman did to anger the Lord to the point where he decided the judgment that was best for her was her colliding with a tractor trailer after she was driving in the opposite lanes of traffic. At the end of the day, we know that hey, she did something. And every judgment of the Lord is a righteous judgment. So Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. And in this judgment, the Lord killed that 81-year-old woman. And it was a harsh judgment, but it was the judgment of the Lord nonetheless. And there was nothing that anybody could have done to stop that judgment from playing out, because it was the will of the Lord for that judgment to play out the way that it did. First Samuel 2:6. The Lord Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. And that's what the Lord is out here doing. Whether it be from car crashes, stabbings, shootings, suicides, fires, storms, tempests, earthquakes, animal attacks. The Lord is killing a lot of people, a lot of wicked people, a lot of people who deserve that level of judgment being brought upon them because they have angered the Lord. They have provoked him unto wrath. Like it says in Psalm 7:11, Yahweh judgeth the righteous, and Yahweh is angry with the wicked every day. That's why every day, people get wounded and killed. That's the anger of the Lord being manifested. A lot of people have a very distorted view of the Lord. They think that the Lord is all about loving everybody because that's what Christianity teaches. But the way the Lord is out here, using his spirits of vengeance to punish people, clearly the Lord does not love everybody. Job 4:7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? And the answer is that nobody has perished being innocent, nor were the righteous ever cut off. So that woman, even though she was an elderly woman, she was not innocent in the eyes of the Lord. Because why would the Lord have brought such a heavy judgment upon somebody that he deemed to be innocent? Verse 8, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. And that's what takes place every day. Wicked people reaping what they've sown. Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Verse 2, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. And for that woman, it was her time to die. And for many people before her, it was their time to die. And there will be many people after her who are going to die as well because it's their time, according to the will of the Lord. And as I've said before, those of us of the hopeful elect seeing these judgments, it should make us fear the Lord more. Because in a lot of cases, these people weren't necessarily doing anything wrong when the Lord brought judgment upon them. They weren't doing anything wrong in that particular moment when the judgment happened. And they were completely oblivious, out there doing whatever. And like a thief in the night, the judgments of the Lord snuck up on them. And they never saw it coming. Proverbs 19:23, the fear of the Lord Yahweh tendeth to life, and he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. Yeah, so if you fear the Lord and you're moving according to that fear, then the Lord, he's going to take care of you. If you're following the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability, if you're rehearsing the righteous acts daily, if you're watching and reading and praying and fasting and remaining circumspect, then the Lord, he's going to take care of you. He's going to keep his hedge of protection over you. But there's a lot of people out here who do not fear the Lord. There's a lot of people out here who don't even believe that the Lord exists. They don't believe he's real. They believe that the Bible is just some fairy tale book. And those are some very, very wicked people whom the Lord is going to destroy in due time. And that's scary, That's scary for the Lord to put a spirit on you to not believe he exists. To not believe all the things that are written in the scriptures, because a lot of things that are written in these scriptures are actually taking place right before our eyes. The wars and rumors of wars, the division, the love of many waxing cold, the storms, the tempests, the fires, the earthquakes. These things are actually happening. And a lot of people don't understand that all of these events that are taking place are written in the scriptures. They can't put two and two together because the Lord is not dealing with them. He has not put the spirit on them to understand. He has not opened their minds to the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures. So basically, a lot of people are just walking around simple-minded, just waiting for the Lord to send one of his spirits of vengeance to take them off this earth. That's very terrifying. So for those of us of the hopeful elect who do have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of these scriptures, we have to, be forever thankful that in a world full of billions of people, the Lord, it seems like the Lord chose us, you know, to have, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Because you go outside and you just see how these people act, and the Lord can't be dealing with them because, anybody that the Lord is dealing with is not going to say the things that a lot of these people say. They're not going to think the way that a lot of these people think, and they're not going to move the way that a lot of these people move. Because the way that majority of people move out here ultimately just leads to their destruction. And those of us of the hopeful elect, we don't want to get destroyed. We want to be saved. We want to endure unto the end and be delivered onto a chariot. That's what we want. A lot of these people, they have this you only live once spirit on them. So they're out here just being as wild and wicked as they can be because they think that if they die, then that's it. They don't understand that every third or fourth generation they get brought back to play out whatever judgment the Lord, has in store for them. That's how you know these people they are not into the scriptures. These are some very carnal, wicked, simple-minded people out here. And that's also why it's hard to feel bad when you see judgment get brought upon them, because you, at the end of the day, understand that that person or those people that got judged were wicked in the eyes of the Lord. And they got what was coming to them, regardless of who they are or who they were. Anyway. So like I've been saying, those of us of the hopeful elect should see these judgments and let it be and let it be a daily reminder to us of what happens when you anger the Lord. What he could do to you. And there's no one that can save you. So your best bet is to fear the Lord and, just move in a righteous manner according to the scriptures. If the Lord, of course, puts the Spirit on you to do so. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. In closing, I want to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakakwadash, the Wadi Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, for putting the Spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith. Shalom to all the sincere believers. Hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up, and Adawan Ratazah. Until next time, Shalom.